agreeing to.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's City Council workshop. This is the hour that we meet before our council meeting, which begins at 10 a.m., to receive any presentations from staff as well as to discuss today's agenda. Before we have our presentation, I will ask council if there are any agenda items that you wish to discuss.
Ms. Mayor, not necessarily discussion, I just would like for us to consider continuing the motion on the library board appointments today.
Okay, that is motion 2025-17. Is everyone okay with continuing that item? All right, thank you. And we have Brooke Morris with us today, and she is going to give us a grants update. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
This is this year's grant update. It kind of goes from the end of last fiscal year to the first half of this fiscal year. So this is the Assistance to Firefighters grant that we recently applied for. It is to upgrade all fire nozzles and put 6 cardiac monitor defibrillators on fire trucks. And we were recently awarded the 24th Avenue North Sewer Pump Station relocation grant from BRIA. This is an essential component of the 24th Avenue North Ocean Outfall Project. And this grant puts state investment at a total of over $32 million. We also have the more recent awarded grant from the Southeast Crescent Regional Commission at $150,000 for our zoning rewrite. And the DHEC mosquito control grant, that is 2 rounds of funding. The first round of funding bought a significant amount of mosquito control chemicals and a new sprayer. And we recently got approval with the second round of funding to buy a UTV for the streets department that does the mosquito control. The Horry County Transportation Committee road improvement project was also recently funded at a little over $1 million. Our public safety awarded grants, that includes personnel and equipment grants. We will be reapplying for the school resource officer and the NIBIN detective grants very soon. This includes the awards for body-worn cameras, in-car cameras, and body armor. The Myrtle Beach Police Department was also one of 6 agencies chosen to do a pilot program for LEAD in South Carolina, and that will be starting very soon. The city's opioid program is also still fully funded by SCORF, and then there is a recent grant award for JAG for tactical gas mask. And these are the gifts and donations for this year. It does not include the most recent gift from Miss Gertrude Roberts for $50,000, and that would put the total at $240,000. This includes the grants that were not awarded this year, but we are still in the process of implementing. The 48-inch transmission line project has been moving very quickly. It probably got behind with the snow, but last month it was about 72% complete. The SAFER grant is still ongoing. That funds 12 firefighters. And then the acoustic threat detection grant to put acoustic threat detection at the Myrtle Beach School Cluster. It is, I would say it's installed, it's not fully operational, so there's still some left on that grant. And then our state appropriations for the last 2 years, it puts our appropriations at $15 million for A&I infrastructure, and then the reoccurring $1 million for the Ocean Outfall Program. And then upcoming applications, including the public safety grants that we will be applying for. We will be submitting a grant for 2 skid units for pickup trucks for the fire department, allows for more maneuverability in response to brush fires, especially on the beach. And that will be about $60,000 that we will apply for. Have any questions?
No.
No questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you, Brooke. All right, we have several executive session items today. I think we should have time to do absolutely the first one. Fox, is there another one you want to try to get through during
Get through
executive
2 of
session?
Mayor, I'd identify the first 3, and if we have time, we'll get to all 3. If not, we'll pick up the ones at the end of the regular meeting.
Okay. May I please have a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiations concerning contractual arrangements involving the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, and to discuss negotiations concerning potential contract and franchise agreement with Pedal Pub MB, and to receive legal advice concerning possible revisions to city code concerning Pedal Pub operations. We will invite Chief Prock and Captain Chris Smith, and to discuss negotiations concerning proposed contractual arrangements with Ponderosa, Inc. and MHC Carolina Shore RV Resort involving shared campground amenities. We will invite Fox Simons, Will Bryan, Brian Tucker, Josh Bruger, Michelle Schumpert, Marla Bell, Patrick Lloyd, and Amy Newshafer. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion from Dr. Connor, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. And we're going to do the Myrtle Beach Pelicans first. We will go into the side room, and then we'll come back and get Chief Prock and Captain Smith. we're missing people.
Somebody must have ran out the other side. I didn't see Greg in there.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We were finishing up the workshop part of our meeting. We did have 4 executive session items, and we only got to 2 of them. So the others we will do at the end of our meeting today. A lot of people here this morning. Good morning. All right, good morning again, everyone. Welcome to today's city council meeting. The meeting is now called to order. I would ask if you would please silence your cell phones. We do have a lot of people here, so please make sure your phones are on silent. And at this time, if you wish, you may rise and join council as Dr. Connor leads us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow your heads. We come before you today with grateful hearts, seeking your wisdom and guidance as we gather for this city council meeting. We thank you for the opportunity to serve our community and ask that you bless each person here with clarity, patience, and a spirit of collaboration. Grant us, Lord, discernment to make decisions that are just, fair, and beneficial to all. Help us to listen with open hearts, speak with kindness, and lead with integrity. May our discussions be productive, our actions honorable, and our goals aligned with the well-being of our city and its people. We ask for your protection over our community, for peace among our neighbors, and for strength to face the challenges ahead. May we ask always to seek the common good and work together in unity and respect. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Debbie, thank you. That was a beautiful prayer. All right, during workshop, we had a request to continue motion 2025-17 on our agenda. And with that, I will ask if there is a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from, I heard Ms. Hatley first. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve our meeting minutes from January 28th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Our first proclamation today will be to honor Black History Month. Chastity is coming forward to lead us through this. Good morning.
I like that soup.
Morning. I would like to invite all of the African American
co-workers from the city of Myrtle Beach to please come and stand with me.
All right.
Don't be shy, come in so we can see everybody.
I was gonna say, we don't bite. Yeah. Step up.
All right, Mayor and City Council, I am here to give the Black History Month proclamation in celebration of Black History Month and our African American team members. Whereas African American history is valued and appreciated year-round, with Black History Month set aside as a dedicated time to learn more about the teachers, writers, inventors, doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs, nurses, workers, citizens, and unsung heroes who were and are African Americans. And whereas the formal celebration of Black history in the United States dates to 1926, when Dr. Carter Woodson set aside time to acknowledge the extraordinary challenges and accomplishments of African Americans, a time which then became Black History Month in February 1976, to honor the heritage and achievements of Black Americans. And whereas during Black History Month, our city, county, and country also recognize and applaud the courage and tenacity of African Americans who overcame decades of slavery, racism, and repression, and whose legacies are today woven into the successful fabric of our society. And whereas the celebration of Black History Month each February reminds us that the fundamental strength of our community is based on our diversity, and for this reason, we especially recognize and thank all of the African American employees of the City of Myrtle Beach for their contributions and teamwork in support of the first in service philosophy. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Myrtle Beach designates February as Black History Month and encourages all to celebrate it in our continual quest for equality, freedom, and opportunity. Signed and sealed this 11th day of February, 2025. And I am going to present this to Kendrick.
I am truly honored to accept this proclamation on behalf of the African Americans who work for the City of Myrtle Beach. On this day, February 11th, 2025, I proclaim that the City of Myrtle Beach will not just set the standard, we will be the standard for other cities. Not only will we be the standard for other cities, but the blueprint for other counties. And not only will we be the blueprint for other counties, but the foundation for the state of South Carolina. People will travel from far and near to learn how we unified our city and community, always being inclusive and upholding a standard of excellence. I am Black history. We are Black history. Thank you again to the City Council and the City of Myrtle Beach.
Go, Kendrick.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, man, how are you? Hi, brother. Good to see you, man. All right, all right. All right. Yes, ma'am. How are you, man? Good, how are you?
Okay. Hey, brother. Hey, good to see you, man. All right. You want to say young friend?
Proud that sweatshirt, aren't you?
All right. Good job. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Tim.
Hey,
Good to see you.
good job,
Yes, ma'am.
thanks.
How are you? It was good to see you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, man. How are you, sir? Good. Brother, good to see you, man. All right. Hey, young lady.
Hey,
all
how are
right.
you?
You all right? All right. Hey, how are you? Hey. All right. All right.
Thank you.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Yes, sir. Good to see you, man. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Our next proclamation is for South Carolina Arts Advocacy Week, February 10th through 14th. And I'm going to invite all of our arts organizations who are here with us today to come forward as William Miller officially accepts this. But please come join him. And again, don't be afraid. Please spread out. We want to see who all is here. And I want to thank William for bringing this to our attention.
All right, great crowd for this one here. South Carolina Arts Advocacy Week, February 10th through 14th, 2025. Whereas the arts play a vital role in quality of life in the state of South Carolina, and whereas companies that focus on the arts contribute to the economy by creating jobs, helping small businesses, and drawing in tourists, and whereas education in the arts enhances critical thinking and communication skills, leading to the academic and professional success of students, and whereas South Carolina Arts Advocacy Week serves as an opportunity to celebrate and recognize the talents and achievements of artists, art organizations, and educators, as well as the community impact and economic impact the arts industry has on our state, and whereas arts advocacy is important to ensure the strengthening of the creative sector. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the city of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, hereby recognizes February 10th through 14th as South Carolina Arts Advocacy Week in recognition of the efforts of artists across the state, signed and sealed this 11th day of February 2025.
I just want to say on behalf of all of the arts organization and artists that live in our community that we are doing our best to make Myrtle Beach a vibrant, exciting place for not only tourists, but also for local people to enjoy the arts. And that doesn't mean, that means poetry, writing, music, excuse me, visual arts, sculpture, and we have, if you don't know, we have multiple artist guilds in town. One of them has a gallery in Market Commons, and another one will soon have one in downtown. That's the Waccamaw Arts and Crafts Guild. So we are here to help Myrtle Beach become the place for the arts.
Love it. Thank you.
Just let me also add, we have a wonderful, vibrant art museum, in case anybody isn't aware.
Everybody can come. We don't bite. Thank you. Appreciate you, Bill. Good to see you. Good to see you again. All right. Oh, yeah. I just wanted to shake your hand, too. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Sure. Shake your hand, brother. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, dear. You, dear. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. How are you, sir? Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Allison. Good to see you. All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you. Hey, how are you doing, dear? Good to see you, Miss Pat. Yes, ma'am. Always, always. Hey, dear. Thank you for being here. Yes, ma'am. Hey, dear. Thank you. Yes, Mike. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here. I'm good. Hey, man. I like that poem this morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was reading it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hey, dear. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Hey there, how are you, sir? Good to see you. All right. Hey, how are you, ma'am? Good, good to see you. Yes, ma'am. Hey, dear, good to see you. Yes, ma'am. All right, glad to have you here. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Yes, ma'am. It's been a while. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Not over there.
Thank you, sir.
Brian. Max. Did he send you one? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to our communications and creative services update.
Hey, City Council, Chastity Pendergrass here with your Communications and Creative Services update. The Arts and Innovation District was active and lively on February 1st for the second annual Oysters and Art Festival. The event brought lots of people to Nance Plaza and the parking lot behind Grand Strand Brewing Company. Thanks to all who attended. The Myrtle Beach Downtown Alliance wrapped up another round of public input meetings for the future of downtown. This public input will be helpful for the Downtown Alliance and the City of Myrtle Beach as we continue our revitalization project. The city honored Myrtle Beach legend Buddy Stiers at the renaming dedication ceremony at the now Colonel Thomas Buddy Stiers Athletic Complex. Dozens showed up to celebrate Buddy's well-deserved recognition. Speaking of Myrtle Beach legends, we officially said goodbye to senior planner Kelly Mezzapelli at her retirement party. In her 28 years with the city, Kelly played a massive role in making the city look the way it does today. SCDOT held a public input meeting to discuss improvements to Robert Grissom Parkway. The DOT plans to increase safety on the road by installing high visibility crosswalks, ADA ramps, new pavement markings, and much more. Looking ahead, Myrtle Beach's annual Easter egg plunge is coming to the Mary C. Canty Recreation Center Friday, April 18th at 11:30 a.m. Kids ages 3 through 12 will swim for Easter eggs and have the chance to win candy and prizes. Registration opens March 13th. Pickleball with a Purpose is coming to the Pepper Gettings Recreation Center Friday, March 7th. Teams of 2 can register for $15 per player, and 1 player must be over the age of 55. All proceeds go to the Mark Child Youth Scholarship Program. You can register at Pepper Gettings. That's all for now. I hope you have a great rest of your week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any non-agenda items from the public?
No, Your Honor.
We will move on to today's consent agenda, please.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. For this morning's consent agenda, you have 4 items for your consideration. The first one is motion 2025-13, authorizing the city to accept a grant in the amount of $55,000 from SLED for the 2025 State Homeland Security Grant Program to support the PD Regional weapons of mass destruction hazmat team in the Myrtle Beach Fire Department. There is no match required for that. The second item is motion 2025-14, authorizing the city to accept a grant in the amount of $30,000 from SLED for the 2025 State Homeland Security Grant Program, support the PD Regional Collapse Search and Rescue Team in the Myrtle Beach Fire Department. There is no match required for that one. The third item is motion 2025-15, authorizing the city to accept a grant in the amount of $45,000 from SLED in the 2025 State Homeland Security Grant Program, the PD Regional Incident Management Team in the Myrtle Beach Fire Department. There is no match for that either. And the final one is motion 2025-16, authorizing the city to accept a grant in the amount of $1,002,636 from the Horry County CTC Committee for the State Department of Transportation for the purpose of resurfacing roadways. There is a match of $1,740,000 in the city's capital improvement program. And that was secured through a grant through the CTC, and thanks to the mayor and Jana Curry for the attendance at that meeting earlier in January.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve today's consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made from Mr. Louder, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Our first regular agenda item is the second reading of ordinance 2025-7.
Second reading of ordinance 2025-7 to amend the municipal budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025, by authorizing the use of hospitality tax fund balance for security devices.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Motion made from Mr. Louder, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council?
This is for the purchase of the safety barriers.
Yes, those are the safety barriers, I think a beam gate. Been no changes from first reading.
Any discussion from the public? Morning.
Morning. City resident. I'm not opposed to this ordinance at all, or this reading at all. I just hope that you all reflect on the challenges that residents and businesses have had with the closings of streets and the traffic control in the city and everything. And I just encourage you to put in place some guidelines that when something's going to be closed, that there's some studies done that justify it. Economic impact, traffic, and so on. We've had a lot of businesses that were severely impacted by some of the closures that take place in this city. And public safety comes first, no argument there. But I think that we owe it to the residents and the businesses to show that we did our due diligence and studies back up the reason for those closures. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Any other public comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Second reading of ordinance 2025-8.
Second reading of ordinance 2025-8, approving the execution and delivery by the City of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, of a lease between the city as lessor and TransPerfect Translations International, Inc. as lessee with respect to building located at 517 9th Avenue North in the City of Myrtle Beach.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made from Dr. Connor, second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion from council? Devin, do you have any changes or anything you'd like to let us know?
Only one minor adjustment. We did notice a typo in the ordinance. In the address, we changed that from 505 9th Avenue to 517. I will say that Jim Eisman, the president of TransPerfect Legal Solutions, is here today if you'd like to hear from them. Aside from that, no other changes.
Okay, thank you. I will say that last Friday, I was on 9th Avenue and ran into some TransPerfect people, and it was good to see them already supporting other businesses in that area. So, thank you. Thank you, Devin. Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. First reading of ordinance 2025-9.
First reading of ordinance 2025-9 to amend Article 2, Section 203, and Article 15, Section 1502L and 1502N of the Myrtle Beach Code of Ordinances, Appendix A zoning, to add a definition for a cargo container and to add new subsections regulating temporary on-site cargo containers for storage.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
As Jen noted, this is to place some new, more clarified language on temporary cargo containers utilized for storage with our businesses. First would be to add a definition for cargo containers. We currently don't have one, so at a high level, they're the large metal boxes that you see on the back of rails, trucks, and on ships. The conditions as listed would govern two different uses: visitor accommodations and retail operations. For visitor accommodations, containers shall not exceed 1 per 100 accommodation unit ratio. They should not be placed on site before November 1st and must be removed by February 15th. The permit must be filed with construction services to be reviewed by the fire marshal and zoning administrator, and a site plan must be included. Containers must not be used for the storage of hazardous or dangerous materials. No more than 5% of total parking and no required parking may be used for cargo containers. They must be 150 feet away from front and side property lines. Site restoration must be completed within 15 days if not placed on asphalt, and the following conditions do not affect Section 13. For retail operations, the conditions largely stay the same. The only changes are that the ratio changes to 1 per 10,000 square feet of retail space, and the timeline is October 1st and removed by January 15th. I did want to include Section 13. We currently do allow these if you have an active and valid building or construction permit to be used on site for an office or for commercial uses. The temporary nature for storage will not impact that with the way we have this written. And finally, I do have two pictures from one of our code enforcement officers, Ryan Boyd, just showing what we're trying to utilize this language for to do some more enforcement on. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, let's get a motion on the table. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-9?
So moved.
Motion from Mr. McClure, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion or questions from council?
Yes, ma'am. Just really one question. Okay, you're setting the dates when this container can be placed on a property. What is the procedure once that date is passed that the city's going to take to get it removed?
Turn that one to Charlie for enforcement.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We would pursue it as we would any ordinance, which could be through tickets, court, or jail time.
Maybe at another time you give me a more detailed answer to that. I'm looking to see what the procedure is. First, you go there and it's there. What are we going to do then? And what happens after code enforcement, whoever it is, go, what the procedure is. That's kind of a short version to me, but I'm looking to see what is the length of time that it looks like once that date passed that that container can be allowed to continue to be on the property.
Sure. I mean, the dates are pretty hard. However, I mean, in any case, when you start looking at these retail chains, they are paying for these units. So typically, they're going to have them out by their season's end. I'm pretty sure their boss is going to want that number off their finance line. On our end, our concern is the abundance that we've seen not only this year, but in the past, and how we can rectify that. We're still allowing the use of it, but we are limiting the density of it. So that was kind of the goal that we're looking at here. But with that question being said, the procedures that we have in front of us are conversation, then you're alluding to a ticket, and then, we're going in front of the judge.
So this would include, say, a tractor trailer leaves their trailer in a vacant lot. This would be covered in this ordinance.
I mean,
if it's not
trailer
necessarily a
isn't
property
shipping
owner.
container, it's a type of, but it would be us looking into that. I mean, we have other ordinances for storage containers such as a tractor trailer or those other items. And where they may be placed, sometimes we run into them in the right of way, sometimes we run them
into them on our property, city property, or sometimes they're on private.
That's a separate issue.
Okay.
What we're here addressing today are these storage containers that y'all see. They are the ones that are mainly on the back of ships. As Charlie stated, if you've got a trailer that you leave parked somewhere, we've already got an ordinance in place to address that.
Okay.
A little bit on you, Mr. Louder, as far as how would we go about this. We're gonna let them know what those timelines are whenever we allow them to have that trailer. Once that timeline expires, are we gonna show up there right there that very next day and drop you a ticket? If that thing's still there, probably not. Probably gonna go in there and tell you, you know the established guidelines, they were written on your permit, it was supposed to be removed by this day, giving you 15 days to have this removed. If it's not removed within that 15 days, then all the procedures that Charlie referred to as far as the courts and everything else goes. But we will be fair in administrating this, especially this first year of this being a new ordinance to them. We just got to make sure that they don't mistake kindness for weakness. But we will try to work with them, but when push comes to shove, we will write the ticket and we will pursue this in the way that it needs to be pursued.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, any other questions from council? Any discussion from the public?
I just have a question on it. How does this affect residential? Because there was a storage container on Flag Street for years, that big orange thing. It's gone now, but does that fall under this, or is that something, is that already covered under the existing ordinance?
Storage containers became a big discussion in the state of South Carolina probably about 7 or 8 years ago. We were having a lot of people come in here saying, I'm gonna build houses out of it, I'm gonna use it for this, and I'm gonna use it for that. Recently, the state has passed in regard to their building codes that you can use one of these storage containers as a storage unit, but it has to meet all the state building code requirements. It has to be properly strapped down and things along those lines. Not sure if that was the case with the example that he is referring to, but there is a possibility that on a single-family residential unit, you could have one of those shorter storage containers in your backyard as long as it is properly strapped down and everything in accordance with that. Probably the example that he was talking of is probably one of those that set out there, and after a while, some of these things you almost got used to seeing them there because they had been there for so long, and we really didn't have the easiest way to address it. Everybody starts off with good intentions as to why they have that there. 2 years later, out of sight, out of mind, they forgot about it. But we will be addressing all of them across the city. There will be none. We know where they're at. We know where they're at, and we'll be addressing those. But again, there are some chances where it could be permitted to do as such. I doubt very seriously it's going to be permitted on a commercial lot without going before the Community Appearance Board and having to get their approval. But again, that is a possible option.
So Ken, a residential, a home that someone is maybe in the process of moving and they have a pod in their yard.
Yes, ma'am.
To store boxes, furniture, whatever, before they move.
We can give them a temporary use permit on that on a very limited basis. Normally, as Cameron cited earlier, if there's anything that is attached to a building permit, such as the lay-down yards that might be on Third Row for an oceanfront project, we allow them to have those storage containers for the storage of their equipment. We allow them to have them there for a trailer and things along those lines. But as far as like on a single-family home, yes, somebody could put one in their backyard and have it strapped down properly, just like going to buy a building from Lowe's. As long as you've got it strapped down and meet the hurricane wind load, you can have it in the rear yard. So those same things could apply along those lines.
Okay.
But again, those would be in rear yards, not in front yards, not anything along those lines.
Okay, Alex, did that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Okay, any other discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 2025-3.
Resolution 2025-3, to enter into a memorandum of understanding between the City of Myrtle Beach, the County of Horry, and the Myrtle Beach Pelicans.
Yes, ma'am. This is as the clerk read, an MOU between the city, the county, and the team. This would be a non-binding resolution. The outline of the MOU is that the estimated cost of the improvements are $20 million. The financing would be the city would issue $20 million worth of bonds, and there's some offsets there. from the county with the county's 30% there. The lease would be amended to extend for 20 years through 2045 at a $750,000 annual lease payment. And we will work good faith and collaborative to move as expeditiously as we possibly can. Moving on to the next step, which would be a lease, which would need to come before City Council for a vote before anything is officially done.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2025-3?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made from Dr. Connor, second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion from council?
Just to reiterate that this is a non-binding situation, and what it really does is allow us to move forward to see if we can come to a permanent lease. We are not bonding anything now. We are not spending any money right now. It just allows us to move forward.
Correct.
Anything else? Any other comments, questions?
I will say, I'll make a comment because I'm a reluctantly say yes to this. And the reasoning I'm reluctantly saying, so we can move forward. But I'm really expecting the lease that comes through to be a good one. We've worked on this long enough, and we need to have it where it is, makes everybody happy. And these folks right up here, including myself, we've been put here to represent our taxpayers here, and so that's our utmost importance also. So I just want to make sure that they understand that we will be looking at this very hard.
Thank you.
I'll just add that I think someone said it earlier this morning, we've been plowing this field for a long time, and we've come a long way. 750,000 is what we're looking for, and a lot better than what we've had in the past. And again, even though it's non-binding, and I'm going to support it, but we'll see where it goes from there. So I think it's a better deal than what we've had before, if it goes through.
Thank you, Mike.
I just got to be honest. I don't understand why this late in the game, so to speak, that we come to a point where we need this resolution to start with. This, if we were going to do this, we should have done this back this past spring. Without, you do this, do you have an understanding we're going to try to work through this? Well, that's what we've been doing all summer long and through the fall and now. So it seems like to me what we really should be looking at, what we really should be voting on is the agreement, the contract. And I know, I've heard it. We're going to do this first and then we can get there. We've had plenty of opportunity to get there already, and we hadn't got there. So my colleagues, obviously on this dais, at least 6, are going to vote for it. So I'm going to follow the path of Ms. Hatley, and I'm going to say I'm going to reluctantly support this today because I do believe we plowed this dirt long enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Louder. Okay, is there any discussion from the public? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 2025-4.
Resolution 2025-4, a resolution to authorize execution of consent to settlement agreement.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Myrtle Beach and other jurisdictions are part of a lawsuit against a number of online short-term rental platforms like VRBO and Airbnb. The purpose of the lawsuit is to recover for unpaid business license fees and unpaid accommodation taxes and unpaid hospitality fees, and to achieve compliance in those areas going forward. The parties have reached a proposed settlement with Airbnb in accordance With the terms of the settlement, Airbnb will pay to the several jurisdictions a lump sum representing the unpaid business license fees and the unpaid accommodation taxes and hospitality fees. Going forward, Airbnb has also agreed to collect and remit to each jurisdiction the accommodation taxes and the hospitality fees and the other applicable fees and taxes in each jurisdiction. Airbnb has also agreed to, going forward, obtain a business license from each jurisdiction and to pay each jurisdiction its applicable business license fee. The case will continue against the other platforms, the largest of which is VRBO. And the resolution before you authorizes the city attorney to sign a consent to settlement.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2025-4?
So move.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bryan, when you mentioned that VRBO or Airbnb, they've agreed to get a license, so to speak, similar to hotels, motels, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean, I think, that individuals who own property here and have it for rent either on any of those platforms or any other method now are not obligated to get a business license. In other words, just because Airbnb and VRBO is doing this, it's not a blanket license for everybody.
I believe that is correct, Mr. McClure.
Okay. So I would encourage everyone, if you are renting your home, your condo, whatever it might be, it is a requirement that you have a business license. And when you don't do that, you're actually cheating, and that's not right. So I would encourage everybody, if you're renting your property out, go ahead and get the business license. It's not that expensive. It actually protects you, and it will help you down the road.
Okay, is there any other discussion from council? Any discussion from the public?
Mr. Brandt, what is the option other than settlement? Is there one?
Continue letting the Airbnbs and the VRBOs of the world disregard the city's business license requirements and the requirements to collect and remit hospitality fees, accommodation taxes.
There's no other litigation options, just the settlement or no law?
No, I guess you could reject the settlement and go forward with trial.
Okay. But would he basically be going alone as the city of Myrtle Beach?
If we were, yeah, so far, my understanding is all jurisdictions that are participating in this lawsuit have consented to the settlement.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion from the public? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. The next item, motion 2025-17, has been continued. We will move on to motion 2025-18.
Motion 2025-18 to reappoint 2 members to the Human Rights Commission.
Okay, 3 seats have expired. Shane Cacho, Terry Livingston, and Veronica Walters. Mr. Livingston and Ms. Walters both wish for reappointment. Their new terms will expire on February 22nd, 2028. The one remaining seat will continue to be advertised to generate public interest in potential candidates. So I would ask for a motion to reappoint Mr. Livingston and Veronica Walters.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. And thank you both for being willing to serve again. Motion 2025-19.
Motion 2025-19 to declare certain vehicles abandoned or derelict pursuant to the authority of Article 41 of Title 56, South Carolina Code of Laws, 2001.
Okay, and we will ask if there's anyone here that represents any of these vehicles. And I'll ask for a motion to declare.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any non-agenda items from the public?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we do have several executive session items that we did not get to. The first one will be to discuss negotiations concerning potential contract and franchise agreement with Pedal Pub MB and to receive legal advice concerning possible revisions to city code concerning Pedal Pub operations. We will invite Chief Prock and Captain Chris Smith. We will do that one first. Next, we will move on to discuss property acquisition in the Arts and Innovation District. I will need to recuse myself from that item, Madam Clerk. And I think those are the only two we did not get to.
Correct.
We will invite Fox Simons, Will Bryan, Brian Tucker, Josh Bruger, Michelle Schumpert, Marla Bell, Patrick Lloyd, and Amy Newshafer. Is there a motion to go back into executive session?
So moved.
Motion from Mr. McClure, second from Mr. Louder. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We will have executive session in this room, so we will excuse everyone else, please. And we do thank you all for being here today. We need to get Jen so we can, I
thought
don't
she was.
know.
I thought she was with you.
No, she wasn't in there.
Oh.
Might have closed the door, but
I was alone.
I came out there.
You've gotten taller, Jim. Ooh, ooh.
We're back on.
Mike's on?
That was hard, that was very harsh.
Hot mic, hot mic. Yeah?
There she be.
Are you ready? Ready. Okay, is there a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Do we have any communications from council or staff? League of Cities meeting tomorrow. Did everyone get that notification?
Where's it at? Where's it at?
Atlantic Beach.
Atlantic Beach.
Tomorrow? Oh, I can't, I'll be.
Okay, is anyone attending?
Tomorrow,
I
Wednesday?
mean, I'd go, but I.
What time?
Wednesday night.
6.
6.
Out for me.
Where's it gonna be at in Atlanta Beach?
Atlantic,
At their,
I can send you the address.
yeah, if you would. I'll try to go tomorrow.
I probably will not.
I
be able to-
cannot go.
missed the
So
last
if anyone is going, if you would let Jen know and be prepared to give a city update, please.
Okay.
And then next Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be in Columbia. Jimmy Gray will be in Columbia. I have a board meeting with the Municipal Association on Wednesday, but Jimmy and I are going to be meeting with our House and Senate members about our budget request. Chamber will be issuing a letter of support, and we're asking for others as well. Anybody else have anything? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries.